What is up? What is up? What is up?
What is going on, everybody?
It's going.
It
It's a really.
is going.
How's the weather like over there for you?
Little humid. Little humid.
Really?
Yeah.
We had rain in the morning or overnight, I think, and there was a slight overcast, and then around 11:30 it started clearing up, and now it's beautiful blue skies with lots of wind.
We had rain as well, but it was yesterday. It was on Sunday. Um, our rain. Our yesterday it rained. It rained overnight. When I went to church, there was like puddles and stuff. But even like outside my house, there was kind of like our cars were. Like your cars get gross after the rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my car has been gross.
Before the rain?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
nice.
after and
Very
during.
nice. um,
uh,
yeah, but yeah, we got another episode here for you. What is it? Episode what?
139.
One,
No, 139, yeah, because last week I think it was 138.
and we
But
didn't.
I put a question mark on it because I wasn't too sure. So I feel like we're on 139 for sure.
For sure. We didn't know last week, so we definitely know this week. So even better. Yeah, no, it is 139. I want to say. But welcome back to the podcast, everybody. If you already haven't, please follow us on our social media, on our Instagram at Our Real Addiction, and on TikTok also at Our Real Addiction, and subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can find this episode or this podcast in video format, and our YouTube exclusives of Movie News Monday and TV Inquiry. Um, they're like 5 episodes in each, I think, of
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah, yeah.
shows. So check those out because they are awesome. But yeah, and then we have a bunch of spoiler reviews that typically drop on Friday, that are different than just they're the podcast, but their episodes solely focused on uh on spoiler talks really, and we're gonna do one for Ahsoka in about a month when the season ends. So be sure to be ready for that because Ahsoka has been awesome if you haven't been keeping up with it. Um,
Yeet.
yeah. But we got box office, we got Disney Plus updates, and we're talking about a new trailer that I don't want to say just dropped because I think it was the official trailer that
Yeah,
dropped.
it's the official trailer for
But
a little movie called Totally Killer. That's a Prime original movie. So we'll be getting into that and kind of talking about a little bit of its controversy on the plot. But
yeah,
I don't think it's that controversial. I think it's something that we'll dissect later. But I'm really excited to see how the box office is doing because things are kind of mellow right now. I think everything is kind of
things.
stagnant again.
Yeah,
Um, there's things that are being announced, and then there's things that are being like things that get announced, and they're like, but the strike is happening, so delayed. So as of now, we're just still waiting patiently for the strike to end because I think it's really putting people out of jobs, and it really sucks. And then if you haven't checked out last week's episode, we do talk about Drew Barrymore coming back to her show
that's
and going
controversial.
on air. But um I think she said she was not going to do it anymore from recent events.
So
Recent
she
news,
got
I could be wrong.
backlash. She got backlash,
She
and
got
then
backlash. She hit it in an apology video and then she deleted it. So she's really
oh
tiptoeing
gosh,
again, which is always embarrassing. I think it's just
yeah.
like apology videos in general are super embarrassing, and I don't think and like the fact that they're a thing now, and the fact that like when it comes out and it's just like you're just kind of like sitting there like watching this person lie or be as unauthentic.
You know what else is embarrassing?
Well, it's embarrassing.
Well, I'm gonna hit the well, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, but also if your favorite actors and actresses singing Imagine.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just had to throw that out there. That's embarrassing. Um,
That's the worst. That was the
yeah.
worst thing to ever come out from
Um,
COVID. I swear to God, that was the absolute worst thing that they could ever possibly do, and it was really embarrassing. Like I have no idea that no one in the PR team was like, "Hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this." Like the intention is maybe there, Your intentions are nice, but the execution is poor.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, let's get into those
Yeah.
box office, guys.
Yeah. I mean, here's the funny thing. So, well, not funny thing, but at least first time that I'm paying attention to it, but to the dailies. So obviously we tend to read the box office on Mondays because that's when we typically record the podcast. But the dailies line up exactly with the placement of the films. So for Sunday on September 17th. So for the weekend of September 15th through the 17th, number 5 came in at number 5 for the daily and vice versa. If that makes
Uh,
sense.
nice.
Yeah, which I think I've never noticed it, but I just find that funny. Point is, coming in at number 5 is Barbie with $3.8 million. It's still at I think 1.4. Yeah, so it's at 1.4 million. It's not going to probably reach 1.5 as it is nearing the end of its box office run, as well as already on digital.
Yeah.
So I mean, but
To
hats off
rent,
to it.
though,
Yeah,
not streaming, for those who are curious. I mean, yeah, to rent to stream,
I
but
mean
not in any other streaming services as of yet.
people are still buying it, for sure. But internationally, it sits at $790 million, and domestically, it sits at $625 million. So obviously, very, very more. It's about 10% that separates them. So it's, I mean, more or less, it's about a 60-40 for the U.S. or for international and domestic box offices. But incredible run as it nears the end. Speaking of, it's not in the top 5, but Oppenheimer became the highest grossing, not autobiography, but bioflick on a real life story. So it beat out
Oh, Bohemian Rhapsody,
yeah,
right?
Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So congratulations to Oppenheimer. I don't know where it falls in the box office. Let me check really quick. It's number 9 right now. So
Congratulations to Rami Malek for being in two blockbuster hits.
to the in both highest bioflicks of all time.
Mm,
Shout out to him,
yeah,
who was
I think honestly, in retros, in hindsight, I really, really love his performance there the best
where?
out of everybody. I mean, apart from Robert Downey Jr. being amazing,
Yeah.
and obviously Cillian Murphy, I think uh, Rami was probably my best one. Next to oh man, his name he was in. Please help me with his name. Um, he was Han Solo in the remake or like the re
Oh, Aiden or
Aiden
Alden. Oh my
Alden. Yeah,
gosh, Alden Hyde, Etchenright.
that's there we go. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, he was good in that too. Or he was good
He
in
was he was so damn good. I love him.
yeah, Oppenheimer. Man, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the pre-order release because I want it. I want to own
Yeah,
that film. But coming in at number 4 is My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. Made $4.8 million. It's currently sitting at $23 million worldwide. 5 of that being international, and 18 of that being domestic. I think it was at well, no. It was out. Yeah, it was at about 19. So obviously this film is not going to make a lot of money. But I mean, films like these, there is really no box office for them anymore, unfortunately. I've never seen the first two. I'll be
I
entirely
don't think
honest.
I've seen them either. I think they've been going around for a while. Like they take breaks in between because I feel like the cast is just getting older
Yeah,
because it's the same returning cast, right?
I believe so. I believe so. I know this one's. This one was about a reunion, so I think that's cool. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them. I'm pretty sure the small little market they're happy with. I mean, the studio definitely ain't happy. Coming in at number 3 is the Equalizer 3 with $7.2 million, bringing the grand total up to $132 million. 58 of that being domestic, and 73 of that, excuse me, 58 of that being international, and 73 million of that being domestic.
You guys need to go
Um,
watch this movie.
so I haven't seen the first two. It's that's gonna keep me out of
Binge
the
them.
theater.
They're
Yeah,
fun. If you have time, at least they're a fun time.
I
If you
don't.
kind of like, really cool action, and Denzel Washington. Watch it.
Who doesn't love Denzel?
I know, man. Dude, I love his son.
He has a son
Um,
that acts.
I'm sorry.
He has a son that acts. He's an
Yeah,
actor.
he's in Tenet. That's him.
Oh, I haven't seen. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Tenet.
Oh, hang on. I'll
Yeah.
help you out right now. Give me one quick second.
But coming in at number two is A Haunting in Venice, which made $14.3 million. That brings its grand total up to, or sorry, it's only been out a week. But in its opening week, it's made $37 million, 23 of that being international, and 14 of that being domestic. You had the chance to see this.
I did. I had the chance to see it with one of my friends. Her name is Alexa. Shout out to her. We're doing this thing now where we go watch scary movies together on weekends because her movie partner, Perla, is not a big fan of scary movies. So now we've teamed up and we go every weekend as of now with any type of scary movie release. But we did see we got a chance to see A Haunting in Venice. We both really enjoyed it. We didn't see the plot twist coming. We It kept us guessing throughout the entire movie. Kenneth Branagh makes a incredible third. Incredible Hercule Poirot, who is a fantastic, lovable character, as lovable as um. Why am I blanking out on names? Knives Out.
Mm-hmm.
The character in Knives Out. What's his name?
Oh, Daniel Craig, but I don't know
Daniel
his.
Craig. He plays so and so and so. They're similar in the way that they are both obviously detectives and they have a little funky little accent. But if you don't know, this is the third installment of the Agatha Christie series. This is actually based off her book Halloween Party, which hasn't really been done as often, and in its adaptations to the big screen have performed poorly. They even made it into a television series at one point, but it didn't do as successful, and it was just a limited series in its run. Um, Standouts though of this movie, got to give it to Tina Fey playing Adrian Oliver and Michelle Yeoh as Miss Reynolds. Also lovely, Jamie Dornan. He played Dr. Dusty Ferrier, and he was incredible as well as a post war PTSD um, character, and it just goes on and on. The entire cast is fantastic. They're in this one. If you guys don't know, and I feel like this has to deal a lot with the PR, the marketing team, which kind of sucks because off the bat, if you saw this trailer in the movie theaters, you wouldn't have guessed that it was connected to the first two, which is Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile. All Agatha Christie
Unless you
books as well.
know,
Sorry?
unless like you're following it and like you have
Unless you're
like yeah.
following, yeah. And also too, if you're like have a really cool grandma out there that you're like, oh, I know this character and I've seen him before and I've read his books, or if you read the books and are following along, because it's not gonna, it doesn't go off like a franchise where it's like Hercule Poirot and Murder on the Orient Express, or Hercule Poirot and Death
Yeah.
on the Nile. It doesn't go like that. It's just literally like Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile. But he's a returning character and he's fantastic in it. And I really would love to see his character, this specific character, in more things. Like if they were to do a limited series on him, or like an HBO Max original series where he is the lead again, he goes on doing all these little quests and inspecting things. I would definitely be seated. He is obviously also the director of this, which is fantastic, and you can see how different each film is. Death on the Nile is very colorful, has a stellar cast, and is a little bit more enticing in its story. This one is definitely much more slow paced, with a lot of Dutch angles that work in some scenes and sometimes don't. There's some really fascinating scenes where there's literally just like all you see is the head of these characters and having interactions, but it's only just to create a claustrophobia because this entire movie is set within one location. So they're not allowed to go outside because there's a murder that happened, and immediately Hercule Poirot is just going to be like, no one's leaving this house. It does take place in France. Venice. Sorry. I don't know geography. My bad, guys. I may sound really stupid there, but it's also like he really captivates Venice to its beautifulness in the day and its scary, melodramatic horrifying aspects at night, very gothic, and very dark in itself. He plays a lot with what is it? He plays a lot with the characters, and you really don't know who's who, and their true intentions towards the third act. And there's some surprising twists towards the end. If you guys haven't been able to see it, go check it out. I recommend it. My theater was pretty packed. A lot of people went to go see this. I saw it in Dolby, which was really fun. There's a really fun aspect in it that I loved that he used because in Dolby obviously there's like 360 surround audio, and there's little moments and instances where you're in the focus of Hercule Poirot and you're kind of like seeing him through his eyes, and then you hear things very faintly from the left side of your ear or from the right, and then it adds to the enigma of the mystery, and it also adds more of the suspense as to like what's hiding behind every corner, and if so, are ghosts real? So that's my little review for you guys. Just go check it out. Non-spoiler, of course. I really enjoyed it. I think this wasn't the strongest, but I did love the direction of it all. I think I would prefer Death on the Nile a little more, but I really like this one, and I think you guys are gonna like it. It has currently it's sitting pretty on Rotten Tomatoes, and has a 63 Metascore on the Metacritic scale. So check it out. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. What's number one?
Number one comes in at The Nun 2, $14.5 million over its second box office weekend, bringing the grand total up to 161 million. Domestically, it's 56 million, and internationally, it's 104 million. I mean, obviously, it was number one at the box office last week. I still haven't seen it as well. I haven't been to the movies, I think, since Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh man, I really wish I could have caught that because now I'm seeing behind the scenes and it looks so fun. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for that to hit streaming soon. I think it might be already, but uh, yeah,
Yeah, I've been lagging it, but I also started school, so I've just been very, very busy.
yeah. You also have another project going on too.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean that's just Saturdays, so you know. But yeah, I mean, and that's not every week, but it's still. I mean, point is, there's a lot going on here. But yeah, I mean that was the
Yeah.
box office,
It's
but
honestly a really great way. I'd like to see fall. I love fall because obviously you start getting those scary movies and
yeah,
coming out. There's actually a anthology. It's a limited series. It's a limited release in theaters, but I think it's called like Haunted Mexican. Wait, it sounds like Haunted. I gotta go on AMC for this, but I'll circle back to it towards the end of the episode. So another like recommendation to check out. But I love it because so far we have The Nun 2 and Haunting in Venice. Really great introduction into spooky season because I consider Halloween when it starts in September into October personally. Like for me, October is September is too. So
yeah, yeah. People get excited.
yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of Disney Plus updates, which are gonna be, we're gonna burn right through these. Loki season 2 got an official update. I think of a day as well. So instead of October 6th, it's now coming out the Thursday, so the day before, October 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern, which will obviously be 6 p.m. Specific Standard Time. Basically, what they did with Ahsoka ended up moving up a day earlier, and they ended up keeping those release dates, which I find interesting strategy on why they're doing this. I think it's cool though because on Tuesdays we'll have Ahsoka for like 3 weeks into Loki, and then obviously on Thursdays we'll have Loki. So we'll have two shows going on at the same time, which I think obviously gravitates us more to Disney Plus because, in all honesty, outside of their TV shows, like how often do we really put Disney Plus on? You know,
True.
like
I go look for it when I like just last night I was like in this random mood to see Pirates of the Caribbean
that is so
at World's
weird.
End. Huh?
That is so weird because the last like 2 weeks I've been like, I need to watch Pirates.
Bro, I literally put it on last night and I was like, dude, this is so good. I don't know why people don't like the third one as much. I was like really seated and I was really invested off the bat. Like I love how dark this one is compared to the first two. The second one just kicks it up a notch. I was thinking even too of like reviewing them just as a trilogy because obviously Dead Man Tales No Tales is another like a continuation, but on Stranger Tides is like a subplot
Yeah.
of just Jack Sparrow being Jack Sparrow. Um, which don't get me wrong, I loved on Stranger Tides when it came out, and I loved Dead Man Tales for its specific reasons, but I think as a trilogy, they're fantastic and they're perfect in my eyes, and nobody can tell me differently. And I love the way that they literally have to go to the end of the world, die, come back, and then have to like fight against this big the East trading. I don't know. I was really
Yeah.
impressed. I was really liking it, and I also love the way it ends. Because in a sense, like there's so much character arc. I know it's Jack Sparrow's world, but it really like I love Elizabeth Swann and Will Turner, and they all do a fantastic job, and everybody has like their endings, and some of them it's a little bit tragic, but yeah, I was just like super invested in this movie last night, and I was like, this is so sick.
Yeah.
And I
It
never
really
got a
will.
chance to see at World's End in theaters because I was in Mexico at the time. So I only was able to get it once it hit like DVD.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I think that'd be cool if that's something we did where we just started reviewing old films.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that'd
early
be cool.
Y2K.
Like, yeah, yeah, definitely. Speaking of other Disney Plus updates, we got the poster for the Percy Jackson, the official poster for Percy Jackson, where we see him in the water with the sword,
Yeah.
which I thought was cool. I think we've seen a similar poster. I know we got like the teaser trailers recently, and an assorted of different photos from the film or from the TV show.
Yeah, there's a couple of images that have been released, and then we'll link the websites so that you guys can check them out if you guys haven't either. But it's through Collider, and it's a little article, a little segment on the new series that will be debuting on December 20th. You can check them out on the Collider website or down below in the links comment and the links provided. But just a little quick summary of this is just like a divine supporting cast. It states that such a dangerous adventure will make sure the main character runs into some of the most relevant people from his universe, and the upcoming television adaptation has gathered an impressive list of performers for its supporting cast, included Lin-Manuel Miranda, the composer known for creating Hamilton, the musical, will be in charge of portraying Hermes, the messenger of the gods. On the other hand, Adam Copeland, also known as a member of the WWE
Yeah,
Hall of
Edge.
Fame Edge, will play Ares, the god of war. The stage is set for Percy Jackson to discover who he is meant to be. Then there's pictures of Annabelle, Percy, and so on. And I'm just really excited for this because Percy Jackson and the Olympians is one of my favorite teen fiction novels out there next to Harry Potter because I think the world that Rick Riordan created is absolutely fantastic, and he pushes on not only like during his coming of age story, he pushes it on when he's an adult too, which is really cool. And I think Rick Riordan has incredible material, and I'm really glad that they're taking their time to make it into a series. Don't get me wrong, I love Logan Lerman in the movie adaptation, but it wasn't as it had magic, but it wasn't as captivating, I think, as the book was, as always, you know. But I'm really excited for this. Did you ever get a chance to read those books growing up?
No, I didn't. I just saw the film. Didn't they made two, right?
They did, yeah, they did. Percy Jackson's the Olympians, and then they did Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters,
Yeah.
which is the sequel in the book. Basically, there's 5 books in total, and I'll read those out for you guys so that way you can see. Because I feel like each season is probably gonna have to deal with um the book. So there's Percy Jackson the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, which was released in 2010. Then there's Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters, which was released in 2023. Oh wait, hang on. No, not the movie. The book series. Hold up. Sorry. There you go. Sorry, guys. So yeah, the Lightning Thief was the first movie. Then we have the Sea of Monsters, then the Titan's Curse, the Battle of the Labyrinth, the Last Olympian, and then the Chalice of the Gods.
Hmm.
which are this is sixth installment actually, and then there's more by Rick Riordan, where there's like the Demigod Files, the Ultimate Guide, there's graphic novels, Demigods and Monsters, the Demigod Diaries. The world of like the demigods, like, and obviously like human and like Greek mythology is so fascinating to me, and I love that he made a world where it's like very modern, and I'm really excited to see exactly how they do it, especially because Disney has a good production value sometimes, and I really hope that they don't like give half-ass CGI. Like I hope they implement practical effects because there's some really good sequences in these books, and I'm really excited to see them on screen. So that's the last thing I'll say about that.
Yeah. I was looking into it. Chalice of the Gods comes out this year.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so it's
Oh
coming
yeah.
out. It's coming out in
Ooh,
September. It comes out. Oh, it's expected later this month, on the
how
26th.
sick.
Yeah, it's on a little less than a week. I wonder if that's like the end of the book, like the end of the series.
It could be, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it, just because Chalice of the Gods. But I'm gonna check it out. I'm probably gonna check it out like the first couple episodes out of Percy Jackson. If it doesn't catch my attention, obviously I'll drop it.
Obviously it's gonna have like an intended audience, but
Yeah,
also
it's
too, if
yeah,
like if you're a fan of the book or if want to give the show a new try, I'll probably be reviewing the first episode for you guys on TV Inquiry so that way you guys can check it out and see if it's a go or no go.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, until then, because that sounds really exciting. I'm really excited
I
to
think
see this.
I think a show like that needs to grow with the audience. So if they do, or if they're able to maintain like a consistent viewership, then as those viewers get older, because obviously it's for teenagers essentially. The show, you got to grow with your audience. I think I don't want to say like Stranger Things is the perfect example of a show that does that, just because that
But I
has
mean, Harry
always
Potter
been,
too.
yeah, Harry Potter. There you go. Harry Potter grew correctly with its audience.
Yeah, and we're also
So
kind of getting, with the exception of Walker Scobell, who you've seen in the Artemis Project, with
you're
I'm
thinking of the
blanking on
Adam.
people's
You're
names.
thinking of the Adams
The Adam
Project.
Project,
Yeah,
The Adam Project.
yeah.
Yeah.
With Ryan
Apart from
Reynolds,
that, he's fantastic in. So after seeing that, and then he got announced as Percy, I was like, this is in good hands. The kid's fantastic. He's
he
actually really, really good actor.
he's also rumored to play Kidpool in Deadpool 3.
Sick.
Yeah, which I'm gonna be honest, it makes complete sense because he is. If you've seen the Adam Project, he can go toe to toe with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God.
It,
Yeah. Like
he's a
that.
funny kid. He's a
The
funny
kid
kid.
has wit.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what was improvised and what wasn't. And honestly, I feel like yeah, some of his better parts were definitely made it on screen. So excited for that. But Annabeth Chase is going to be played by Leah Jeffries. Grover Underwood is going to be played by Ariane Simhadi, and so on and so on. Seos is going to be portrayed by the former Lance Reddick. May he rest in peace. And then a couple other ones. I'm really excited to see Adam Copeland as Ares because he's kind of a beast in the books. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, excited to see that. I like when other WWE Hall of Famers go into other projects too, which I know that there was a quick little reunion with The Rock and John Cena, no? I saw a
Yeah,
clip.
it's much bigger than that. So basically The Rock showed up on a sports show. So the Pat McAfee show. So Pat McAfee show, he's sports talk, but then he got a deal with WWE because of just how big of a fan he was. So they let him go and wrestle, and he did a whole bunch of things, and it honestly, I feel like it helped like build that bridge into turning the WWE into more of like a sport, like the emphasis on the sports entertainment side of it, as opposed to just like the entertainment, because they've always advertised themselves as sports entertainment, but because of the scriptedness of it is where it wasn't really respected as a sport because it was predetermined essentially. So I feel like Pat McAfee really helped bridge that because you were having somebody who actually played professional sports go into that, and so I feel like it helped build relationships with the WWE and ESPN. Point is, The Rock was on the Pat McAfee show, and they were asking him, but just about like things that were supposed to go on in the WWE, if he was rumored to return, because that was one of the biggest rumors, is that he was set to return earlier this year. Rock confirmed it, but point is, the Pat McAfee showed up on the WWE later that night, and then that's when The Rock came out. And then of course there was a reunion between him and Cena, because him and Cena had 2 matches at WrestleMania. They were really good matches. But no, yeah, I mean, I don't know if The Rock's gonna continue to be like showing up on a weekly basis, just because Cena's there and he's there for like the next month and a half. I mean, convenient that he's there. Strikes on. Rock comes back. Strikes going on. I don't want to say that's why they went back, but clearly their
I mean,
schedule,
people got to get work,
their
like
schedules are cleared up. They're on like legend contracts where they're just bringing in money for being not even being associated or not even doing anything with the WWE. Because the WWE gives out like legend contracts where they can sell merchandise on like their name, on their slap them on T-shirts, slap them on titles, slap them on the toy lines. Like they can do that, which obviously Cena, if you know anything about John Cena, every time he shows up, he has a brand new T-shirt, a different color T-shirt for obviously sale purposes.
of course.
So there's like the Cena's obviously their biggest seller. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I saw the highlights. I really just mainly watch it around the pay-per-view times. Anytime there's a pay-per-view or like a premium live event, when I tend to like get into it. It's hard to keep up on a weekly basis on something like that. There's just so much. WrestleMania time is like when everybody watches it, obviously, because that's their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no,
Final
definitely. But that was
topic?
cool. Well, really quickly, I wanted to bring this up. I forgot to bring this up last week. So, did you hear about Disney releasing their 100th anniversary collection of Blu-rays?
No.
Okay, so Disney is releasing a 150th anniversary film. You're going to get 100 films in this, and they're all Blu-ray, and it's priced at $1,500.
Whoa.
Yeah, you get it comes. I'll admit it comes in a pretty cool collection box, and there's 3 volumes to it. And you get like this diamond. I doubt that the diamond mouse ears are real, but it does look pretty cool. I'll put a photo up right here along with the other stuff we talked about. But it's coming out next month, and the price tag is obviously $1,500, which comes out to about $15 per film. All I'm saying is, if you buy this, you don't have to pay for Disney Plus for like the rest of your life. Only when the TV shows that you want to watch are out. But also in the box is a lithogram poster of Wish, which is the up and coming film, Disney film. Yeah, but also obviously the film includes from the vault such as Snow White, Encanto, Coco, other Blu-rays such as Toy Story, Lion King, Goofy Movie, all those. It is going to be available. It's going to be available for purchase on November 4th, but Walmart is offering pre-orders on the 18th, which was this past Monday at the time of us recording this. You got to be a Disney collector to want to
This
buy
is
this.
this is for like the Disney people for sure.
Yeah.
This is
No,
like
this is
if
for
you have
Disney. This is for Disney collectors.
only. I mean,
Yeah.
$1,500 when like everything could just be digital. I mean, I get it. I get it from a physical perspective where it's like you want the physical copy and you'd like that and you prefer that better. That's me with books specifically because
Yeah.
I haven't bought a Kindle and I know it would be the end of physical copies for me if I do get a Kindle. However, when it comes to Blu-rays and now like, having things on digital or streaming and on the go, I feel like that's more convenient because you don't want nobody brings around their portable DVD player anymore. That's your phone. Like that's when I like nobody has that anymore.
No,
And
yeah,
especially when it comes to Blu-rays too, like nobody brings out that stuff. However, I mean, it's a pretty cool collection. Don't get me wrong. I love to see how it's packaged. I'll probably look it up, but if obviously we're gonna have it on display here in the video. Would you get something like that?
If I had $1,500 lying around, yeah, probably. If I can spare it, like why not? Just to see it, and honestly, probably use it as content material, for like an unboxing. Here's what I forgot to mention. You're gonna get digital codes included for all the films with this, so I do think it's now kind of like a decent bargain considering
Uh-huh.
you're getting a physical and digital. If it was physical only, that's where it would feel a little steep. Also, too, the volumes will feature pages illustrated from the original theatric artworks, from each of the obviously the 100 films, as well as a special edition white and gold Blu-ray disc for each film. Okay, that's cool. So it's not gonna be the original art. Obviously, they're emphasizing on the white and the gold because it is their 100th year. Um, but yeah, that's a steep price.
That's a lot. But I mean, if it's 100 movies, like that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
It's, I
I
think, a pretty
agree.
good bargain, in a sense for it. Um, hmm. Good addition there. I like it.
You wanna split this for you wanna split the cost of that? You got $750 for to lying around just for us to
Okay, only if I can have it on weekends.
yeah, that's fine.
All right, fine. We'll probably do it. No,
Let
I'm
me
not gonna
see.
do
Let
that.
me let me see. It's I mean, I'm looking for it right now, but they're not I don't see the box set on Walmart.
Is it kind of like in a chest or something?
It's like a how would you describe it? It's like a box, like an actual like square. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. Yeah, but the point is, that's on sale. Obviously, they've been selling the 100th anniversary versions of films all year long. So like everything has individual like character posters. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you are a Disney collector, this actually might be for you. Only because if you ever wanted to buy films, if you and also if you know, movies go physical copies for Disney, the films actually go into the vault where they won't sell them for a few years. So like they'll rotate films like Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. Like let's say they'll put two of those into the vault, and right now only Beauty and the Beast is selling of the
Uh-huh.
originals. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna sell Beauty and the Beast this year, and next year we're gonna bring out Sleeping Beauty, and the following year we're gonna do a two first. So we'll do Cinderella and we'll do Snow White. So they won't sell films specifically because of that, and that's where like the vault, like the Disney vault, kind of came into like new stream because obviously there was like things in like, oh, what's in Walt's vault. This is now more of the now modern vault where films won't be sold for quite some time. Obviously, if you have Disney Plus, you have access to all these films. However, I would assume, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know that. Because what if they're secretly pulling films off of Disney Plus? You get what I mean? And they're putting them
Yeah,
into the
just to get
vault.
some resale. Yeah, just to get some
Yeah, like
revenue right
now
now
that
because
I'm
they're not
thinking about
making.
it,
And I wouldn't put it against them either that they
yeah, I
would be
wouldn't put
doing
it
such a
past them.
scam like that.
I'm here giving them ideas. We're just giving them free ideas.
I know. Stop
I
talking.
know. Look, Disney, run me my money, just please. Just a small loan of a
Just a
million.
small sponsorship
Small.
actually would be nice, and also if you could just pay your actors accordingly, that would be great, and your writers too. Thank you.
Or you can pay us $1 million each per year to talk no bad about your company. I'll sell
Absolutely.
out if that's what Disney wants. If they're paying, no, I'm totally. Actually, I would. I'll admit, I'd sell out if Disney's like, "Hey, we'll pay you $1 million to see all our films. Never tell everybody to go see them." I would do it. I would do it.
Imagine like a Disney logo on top of our real addiction, like
I
just being
would.
like,
Hey, I'd do it. I'd sell out.
"Whoa,
No, I'm not.
dude,
Here's the thing. I'm not even selling out.
crazy."
I'm not selling out. I'm buying in. I'm buying in on the brand.
Yeah,
So,
monopolized, man.
yeah. Okay. If you can't beat them, join them 100%. But hey,
Jeez,
I'll admit to it. I'll admit. I'll buy in.
the
Hey,
greatest compromise ever
yeah.
to ever.
Yep. This is like breaking news. This is like our
Ooh,
breaking news. No, no, no. But yeah, in all honesty though, I think the box set is pretty sick. I'll be passing on it. However, because it is Disney, if it hasn't already sold out, it will. Um, because Disney collectors are insane, absolutely insane. Um, yeah, but I don't know what else to say on it. Just because I mean, it's cool. It is cool. I'll admit that. But there's not enough appeal. If they're like, oh, this is like $500, you know,
Uh-huh.
but it probably took them $500 to make this. Actually, no, this was made definitely in China where they were able to pay, people a dollar a day to produce these. In all honesty,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, that's just the reality of things. It sucks, but that's the reality of things. Um, I might have to cut that in all honesty, but maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll see. But point is, yeah. I mean, it's all right. It's cool. If that's a real diamond, obviously that's worth it. But how small would that diamond be?
But I mean, come
But yeah,
on, like,
yeah. It's a steep price. It's a steep price to ask people. But Disney can ask this price because they know it's gonna sell. That's the biggest thing.
and also too, they're gonna probably be selling it inside the parks as well.
If it doesn't sell, I wouldn't be surprised. They will move. They will move that inventory to the
They'll
parks
get
because
Yeah, they're gonna
people
give
will
them
buy
like a
it there.
whole like the
Yeah.
whole little store in the gift shop. And they're gonna have a whole display and be like, these movies can be yours.
See, yeah, for sure. Because like it's kind of like when you go to Disney. Like let's just for example, would you much rather buy a lightsaber from DisneyShop.com, or would you much rather go to the park and buy it and then go buy accessories for it because you're there already and they're right there in front of you?
The second one, the high
Exactly.
heel,
It's the it's the
the
it's the
one.
it's the appeal of doing it in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, just because it's so cool to be in the freaking park
Yeah.
and doing it there. I've yet to build a lightsaber, sadly. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but maybe in the
Soon, hopefully.
eh,
We'll see.
eh, eh, we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, but final topic. Final topic.
the
Um Go ahead.
you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, the official trailer for Totally Killer came out. This is something I necessarily didn't have on my radar. I mean, I knew it was coming out, but I never paid any attention like to it until I saw the trailer. Um
Me,
trailer
on the other hand, I was expecting this, and I was really, really excited for it because, first of all, I love Kiernan Shipka. I think she's a fantastic actress, and I loved her ever since the Netflix series of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which, by the way, I thought was
Oh, that's
fantastic too.
her.
Um, Anything that she's in is amazing, and also too, I like this premise. However, there was discourse on the internet, specifically this little website called Twitter.com, where people were stating that this movie has been done before with a similar premise. However, both according and after seeing the trailer, if you haven't yet, we'll link it down below in the comments. Um, you make up your own mind because there is a similar premise, obviously, in terms of time or like era. It's set in the 80s both times. But for example, people are comparing this movie to The Final Girls, which was released in 2015, starring Thaisa Farmiga, Malin Ackerman, Adam Devine, Nina Dobrev, and Alexander Ludwig. Basically, that it's also a comedy horror fantasy where the synopsis states that a young woman grieving the loss of her mother, a famous scream queen from the 1980s, find herself herself pulled into the world of her mom's most famous movie, which is kind of like a ripoff of Friday the 13th in that sense, plus like Sleepaway Camp. Reunited, the woman must fight off the film's maniacal Maniac Killer. That is directed by Todd Strash Schulten and is written by M.A. Forden, Joshua John Miller. Totally Killer, which is also a horror comedy, is set when a infamous Sweet 16 killer returns 35 years after his first murder spree to claim another victim. 17-year-old Jamie accidentally travels back in time to 1987, determined to stop the killer before he can start. So obviously there is that there is that mother-daughter relationship that's kind of being used again. I'm not going to sit here and say that these movies are going to be exactly the same verbatim. They share the similar premise. However, they're both going to be executed differently. If you guys haven't seen The Final Girls, it's a freaking awesome movie. Super camp, super funny, super horror, and has the best elements overall. I think that is a really good movie on its own and shouldn't be compared to Totally Killer. Unfortunately, it is. But what do you think of this, and what do you make up your mind on when it comes to these two movies, Adam? Will you be catching
Look,
this?
look. Here's what I'll say to that. Okay, if well, not if. Okay, who cares? Who
For
cares?
real, yeah.
Like,
Who cares?
what is the big deal? Okay, like, what's the big deal on like them doing this film? Like, and like whether they're the same film or not. Which, truth be told, I haven't seen the Final Girls. I'll check it out before obviously watching Totally Killers just to
Actually, I would recommend you watching Totally Killer first
and then
and
going
then
back and
watching The Final Girls,
okay.
just so that way you don't have any
That's
preconceptions
that. No,
about
that you're
this.
right. That's a good.
Yeah. Because
Good
I mean, off the
advice.
trailer, like if you play the trailer for Final Girls and you play the trailer for this, they're completely different movies. And I've seen the Final Girls, and I don't think this is going to be the movie that people are expecting it to be. I think it might be surprising. Sorry about this. Jesus, my friend. Sorry, you can continue saying.
No, yeah, but overall, I mean, the film looks good. The film looks decent. Um, I mean, the mask I think is great. At first, I thought it was like a Michael Myers mask. Like, there's the plastic ones that don't have the hair extended to them,
Uh-huh.
and they're the cheap masks. They're the ones
Yeah,
you
like the
probably
Captain
get.
Kirk ones.
Yeah, they're the ones you get probably included with the costume. Um, but that's what I thought it was. But no, it just looks like you know what it looks like? Oh man, I don't know if
It reminds me like a like presidential like the Purge.
yeah, I was gonna say that. However, there's like this '80s broadcast where somebody hacked like a news broadcast, and the guy was in like a similar mask, like something like similar to that, and he was just like laughing the entire time, like on the newscast. It was
That's
weird. It was
freaky.
yeah, it was like it's one of like the most like randomest uh like I guess newscasts that there is. There is no. If I can find a photo, I'll put it put it in the to reference as I'm talking about it. The point is, there's no reason. There's no correlation. I shouldn't even bringing it up. Point is, I mean, it looks. I think it looks cool. I love the inspiration on the poster to Scream, with the knife in it, and he's like kind of behind the knife with well a little bit of it seems like there's inspiration from there, and also Friday the 13th as well, when there's Jason X when he goes to space. um
Yeah.
at least the poster seems like that, obviously with a lot more color on this poster, but I'm interested. I didn't know this was the girl from Sabrina.
Yeah, that's her.
I've never seen Sabrina. So I mean that's cool.
She's a
I
really great actress. I'm excited to see her in a bunch of other stuff. She's grown. She is also she was in Carrier. She was also in Mad Men.
Okay.
And she was also an additional voice for The Legend of Korra. There's also another movie where she's known for as Marnie, and when Marnie was there. Recently, she's done The Maximum Truth, White House Plumbers, the other two, Wildflower, and she was also featured in a couple episodes in Riverdale, which thank God has ended. But yeah,
I knew they crossed over. I
they
still
did, which was so weird.
at that
So
point
weird.
I had stopped watching it.
I never even, I mean, I remember watching the first couple episodes
First season's
and then,
fantastic.
yeah, but like it makes, because it's such a different, anyway, I don't want to talk about
What it
Riverdale.
turns into at the end is weird. Completely derivating from those characters because it's Archie and Friends is
Yeah. And
what
you
those
think
characters are.
writing is going to be bad during the strike? No.
Oh no, wait, she was on Mad TV too as an upset child.
Yeah.
She's probably like a year old at that point. Um,
Probably like, as like an upcoming child actor.
yeah. I mean, I'll see. I'm gonna see this film for sure. It
I'm
looks
definitely seeing
good.
this movie. I love this movie. I love the concept of anything
Yeah.
slasher, especially with horror comedy. I'm gonna be seated because I
Yeah.
also love her.
It's almost
And
like
I also want to see how this turns out. It's honestly, if you think about it, it's a mixture of Freaky and Happy Death Day.
yeah. It
It
feels
has
like it.
elements
Yeah.
of that. It's pulled elements of that, and I think, and both movies are great too. Happy Death Day even got a sequel.
Yeah.
Freaky, hopefully, may get a sequel, but it's a new adaptation. It's a reinvention of Freaky Friday, which is gonna get a sequel too. By the way,
Yeah.
excited. I think Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis are returning.
They are. They are. They're in talks
Yeah,
to return. Yeah. The reason I'll see this is because like one, it's gonna feel like a parody to like original slasher films, which I'm gonna enjoy, while also being very serious as well when it needs to be. Um,
yeah,
which I like films like that when they know what they are and don't have to live up to any like feeling that they have to overachieve to keep the audience engaged. I feel like this film is a film that is gonna know what to do in the right moments.
right.
Um,
I love when actors. I mean, I love when directors take the route of just like, let's just go make something fun,
yeah,
not without having to be like, oh, let's just go make something like important. Like, no, it doesn't have to always be like a staple in pop culture. It can just be another movie. And I feel
the
like obviously things have been trying to be that type of, uh, to become an icon in a sense, especially when it comes to horror, trying to bring a new type of threat, right?
yeah,
But
the
no, just
director, she is well, her name I'm gonna butcher it, but it's Na not a Chak Khan. If I definitely said that wrong, I do apologize. She directed "Always Be My Maybe," which is the Randall Park, and I forget the actress's name, but that's a really good show. She's the showrunner for Young Rock, the Dwayne Johnson show. And she directed a couple episodes for Fresh Off the Boat and Don't Trust the Bee and Apartment 23.
oh, I love that series. That's such a good
Um,
show.
she also has writing credits also on Young Rock, Fresh Off the Boat. Also Don't Trust that Bee in Apartment 23.
American Dad, Malcolm in the Middle, What I
Yeah.
Like About You, Good Morning
Oh
Miami,
my
What's New Scooby Doo. Nice, good for her.
yeah. So she's a established established director. Um, I mean
And writer.
again, if you've seen, I would expect it's gonna be very like emphasizing on the comedy because the her directing credits, a lot of them are all well, majority of them are funny projects like Always Be My Maybe and Young Rock. Those are very
Yeah.
very funny. Um, but yeah, I'll be seeing this, so I got no problem with it.
Circling back to an earlier thing, I was talking about John David Washington. That's
Oh, okay.
Denzel Washington's kid, who's also gonna you know him because you want to go see the creator, and he's the lead in the creator.
He is. That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which
So
yeah, which
yeah,
I'm seeing
he's
that a
fantastic,
day
man.
earlier. The creator,
Sorry?
they're having showings for the creator on Wednesdays. On
An
Wednesdays,
early showing, really?
yeah. So I check it out.
I really want to see
Yeah,
this movie for sure. You
yeah.
might, yeah, I definitely want to see this movie for sure.
If we can, we'll definitely get a review out for you guys for Friday.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to?
Thanks again for
Yeah.
checking out another episode of Our Real Addiction. We are really proud and happy that you guys stay tuning in every week. If you're watching it from a video portion, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell for future episodes, as well as new episodes upcoming, TV Inquiry on Thursdays and Movie News Monday, and then some spoiler reviews for movies releasing on Fridays. And yeah, I think that's gonna cover it. This was episode 139, and I'm Miguel,
And I'm Adam.
and this was Our Real Addiction. Sick part of a smack, everybody.
Sick Harvest